Cheshire seed. Well, to sleep with it.
And as you fall, Enwin is still on his feet. The rest of you fall and break all of the tables inside of the Cheshire Club. To which Bo goes, "Come on!"
Best day ever!
Group, though. He would work with the group because he likes Cass, and that would just be really, really awkward on the battlefield.
What?
I don't think that's an awkward. Perfect person to protect Cass. I
Wait,
like
what?
it. Let's go.
I'm still
I
here.
don't need protection.
I'm still here. At the...
I know you are, sweetie.
Chris,
It's okay.
shh. The adults are talking. Shh.
Oh,
One
alright.
second, buddy.
I like it. I'm gonna. What did
Chris
you think
likes
of
Cass?
I like.
What have you been?
Ibs was a little pretentious.
Abs was
and
my
for
favorite.
me.
I like Bob.
Thanks, Perry.
Alright.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna leave?
Yeah, the crew needs me.
You go, and I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh my god.
And he nods his head. And he nods his head and walks you over to the door. And sort of opens the door.
Oh man.
There was mouth stuff poison? Oh yeah.
No smell stuff.
That came out wrong, sorry.
Sorry. I could not laugh.
Person has died, Ryan. A little decorum,
Just
please.
due to mouth stuff. Come on. Get over it.
I'll go home
Smack
now.
him across the face. I'm like, wake up.
All right, you smack Ryan across the We're set up in these stands or floating above the water. Have never seen a ship cross the finish line, but first. And they all watch as the first thing they see is Monkey C. Written along the side of the ship, crossing and backwards. And you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, crew. You have won the first high lock race for the briefest of seconds. Let them be. Let them love and hurt and change and tell stories and die fighting and pouring drinks and doing the right thing even though it hurts. Just let them be. We can give them that. Yeah, I always wait a couple seconds before I turn. Hi, everybody! Welcome, welcome, welcome! It is Thursday, and it's time for a little D&D here on Indigo Chameleon. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna say a quick hello to everybody in the chat. Moosey, I'm home. Mace, One Big Uno. Undead Rider, what's up? What's up? The brand new follower, Sir Warbush. Thank you so much. Hello, hey, and hello to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're so happy to have you as we play a little Dungeons and Dragons this evening. As that sort of handsome guy said not too long ago, which I don't think I played the announcement for this particular episode. I don't know why. But we have a Discord. It's pretty great. You can come hang out with us there, and you can find the most up-to-date, latest information regarding Indigo Chameleon and, and all that fun stuff. We also have a merch store. It's pretty great. You can get cool stuff. Like, it's okay. With like mugs. With mugs and T-shirts and shower curtains and all that fun stuff. So yes, so thank you for supporting the group so much, and every little thing that you buy helps put helps us keep the lights on here on Indigo Chameleon. Upcoming schedule for this week. Oh, Captain Slaymore, you're the best, pal. Salute the captain. Thank you so much, dude. William, we're gonna start this bad boy off right with a DM inspiration for you, buddy. Mace is hooking you up. It's good because our wizard's gonna need it tonight. So there you go, pal. You get a little DM inspiration. So make sure you add that. Jupiter of Wits End, thank you for subscribing. Oh, you're the best. Hello. And for everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening and for all those subscriptions. And Unseelie Designs, hi Unseelie, you're the best. Oh, what a lovely welcome to start tonight's stream off with. So tonight is the Lost Isle. It's our mixture of D&D and sci-fi and all that fun stuff. Tomorrow night we have a one-shot called Goblins. And it's basically all the players are going to be goblins. They're going to play little minions of the Dark Lord, and chaos is going to ensue. So join us for Goblins tomorrow night, and watch me try to say the word goblins as many times as I can within a 2-hour span. Goblins. And that is tomorrow night. We don't have anything going on this weekend, and neither does Icky V. She's not doing any streams this week, but you know who is occasionally doing streams? It's our very own Wolf Corinne. Wolf Corinne, you want to tell them a little bit about some of the streams you're doing, buddy?
Well, I was on day 18 of my 90-day Beat Saber weight loss challenge, which completely flows off the tongue, the whole poetry emotion there.
It's true.
And currently down 16.2 pounds. Just throwing that out there for the scribe who thinks he's catching me.
Now, I need it understood that if you ditch somebody sometime in a parking lot, that is not losing weight, right? Like that is not that. Like you actually have to lose.
We will be keeping him, but we do have a set schedule over at Wolf Corinne D&D where you can see. However, we will not be streaming this weekend. My wife is taking me up to the mountains, and it's going to make me go out into nature.
Ooh.
And so, taking me from this virtual world into the real world, and I'm scared.
We have a hype train building. I'm always so confused as to what that means. But basically, if anybody's been waiting to sub or gift subs or do bits and give bits to people, we are at 69%. Nice. Right now in our hype train, and any little more pushes us over the edge. So thank you guys so much for all your support. That being said, tune in to see Wolf Corinne lose the weight loss challenge versus the scribe. You can see him play Beat Saber and do all good things for himself and to make sure that things are there. We did it! There's a little train going on the screen. I am a very simple guy. The hype train is taken off. So thank you so much. We've unlocked some brand new emotes for the channel thanks to the generosity of all of you lovely viewers. So thank you for getting the hype train moving. So that's this weekend. We don't really have anything going on this weekend. The next time we do have something going on is Tuesday. Now, unfortunately, we were going to plan to have our brand new campaign debuting on Tuesday, but we're taking steps to make sure that everything here at Indigo Chameleon is safe for the players and safe for everybody involved. So we're taking a couple more weeks to get our ducks in a row to make sure that everything gets set and in place. And but after that, we're going to be opening up a brand new campaign on Tuesday nights called Wanderlust. If you want, you can log into anywhere that you can download podcast, and you can find Wanderlust, an exploration of Wildemount, and you can download episode 0, subscribe, get ahead of the game. And what I think I'm going to try to do, I want to announce it here. I'm going to pick one of those people subscribing to the podcast and send do a random drawing and do a set of dice to celebrate Wanderlust opening. So share what you can about this awesome podcast that we got going, and that's going to be on Tuesdays until we get Wanderlust going and off the ground. We are going to be doing a little mini arc, a little mini campaign.
I'll take care of it.
A little mini campaign that's going to deal with characters that have an evil alignment. So join us for the following next 2 Tuesdays as we deal with that, and then I think that's it. I think that's it for upcoming announcements. That'll cycle us back around to the Lost Isle. Come get evil with us on Tuesday, and it won't be awkward at all.
Put that in your ear.
Put this in my ear
so that I can fix your headphones.
Oh, okay.
It'll just take
I think that's it for announcements. I think that's it for the upcoming schedule. Once upon a time on the Lost Isle, the group found themselves in Beth's Basin. Beth's Basin was is this small town located in Wyoming set during the Wild West. The group very quickly met Benny. Benny is the Wild West equivalent of Captain America. He's the doc of this here town. He was working as a doc's apprentice, but when the doc unfortunately passed, Benny stepped up. The group has won a drinking contest. They've made one of the locals a little upset, and then through an odd course of events, the group went into a bit of a time trial. I would encourage you to watch that episode. We have it uploaded to Twitch and on YouTube, but that episode will detail the precarious situations that the group now finds themselves in. As this is where the group stands so far. Benny is standing at the door leading outside of the saloon, as a group of people are anxious to get out because the first rain in a long time is happening. And they're wanting to gather up some of the stuff from outside. Texas and Cass. Cass is trying to take all of the water barrels and move them away from the spots that they're in, or flip them upside down. I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure that this plan is going to come to fruition at some point. Texas just had an altercation with a large gentleman that she seemed to recognize with a distinct Russian accent that saved her from an untimely fate. Turk is on top of the saloon, bow drawn, ready to start taking shots at a group of individuals that he now realizes are giant wolves that are running towards the town. William and Kiara are digging in Beth's Basin, a dry basin of water that they have now discovered has a large stone at the center of it. Kiara, seeing a spot where Excalibur might go, took the sword from her sheath and tried to stab it into the spot, but unfortunately the sword is too large for this particular spot, and that is immediately where we're going to pick up at. Turk, I need you to go ahead and... What is your passive perception, big guy? I'm gonna guess that it's like a 20-something.
He's muted.
You're muted. You got that push to talk. You got
23.
23 for your passive perception. Okay. Oh, wow. You don't hear this, which I think is even better for you. Better for me, not for you. As you are going to feel a bit of cold steel press up against the back of your neck, right at the base of your neck. Yes, thank you all so much for the hype train. We got a little cherry emoji. I'm very happy about that. It's called the Choo Choo Cherry, and it makes me very happy. You guys, so Turk, you're going to feel a little bit of cold steel press up against the back of your neck, right at the base of your spine. And you're going to hear an audible sound of a hammer being drawn on a pistol. Okay? Hey there, Chief. So here's how this is going to go. You're going to take that bow and arrow, and you're going to drop them where you stand. Before I pull the trigger on this here gun pressed to the back of your neck. You're going to put both your hands up in the air. And you're going to start walking slowly over towards the edge of this building.
Do I recognize the voice?
You don't. You don't. But it's got a slight timbre to it that sounds somewhat familiar. But you're having a hard time placing it. It's definitely not a voice that you've heard in a while.
You got the drop on me, partner. And slowly I am going to I'll go ahead and bend down and place the bow on the ground.
He's going to follow you with the gun. He's going to give out a sharp whistle. William, Cass, Texas, and Kiara. William and Kiara, you're a ways away, so I'm going to have you make this perception check at disadvantage. Cass and Texas, go ahead and make this perception roll, just a regular perception roll, okay?
Ooh. These dice are working again. That is a 22.
Okay.
14.
13. So I 14. This is just to see if you would have whiffed it. I think you guys hear it. It's meant to be heard. You would see Turk being led to the edge of the saloon. both of his hands raised, and a tall man standing behind him. His hat's pulled down. It's raining. He's wearing a dark gray trench coat, and he's got a gun pressed to the back of Turk's head. Okay? But he whistles sharply enough so that you know he's trying to get your attention. William and Kiara.
10.
16 and a 10. The 10, I'm not going to give it to you. You're a little preoccupied with the sword and stuff like that. Kiara, you'd hear a sharp whistle. Do with that what you will. From inside the basin, you'd just hear one of those like sharp cutting whistles from off near the town. Okay? Okay, got it.
I can't. I'm in the middle
Badger
of the
response.
basin.
Yeah, you're in the
Badger,
middle.
go.
Yeah, no,
I'm not in badger form anymore.
she's not in Badger because you can't be a Badger and hold Excalibur. That's canon.
Okay.
Okay? And he's going to look down. He's going to say, "Evening, friends. We find ourselves in a bit of a precarious situation. So what I'm going to ask y'all to do is any of y'all packing heat?"
What's the weather like here?
It's raining.
Dang, I can't make that joke then.
I'm not going to say anything right now.
Okay? Nothing. Fine with me. Then I'm going to ask the two of y'all to head into the saloon. Nice and slow, lad.
Who's he looking at?
He's looking at the two of you.
Texas. What are you thinking? This guy's looking kind of crazy.
Wait, is he still there? Can he hear us saying that?
He is standing
headed
at
in.
he is standing at the edge of this building.
Okay.
Turk is standing in front of you, arms raised. This man has a gun pressed to the back of Turk's neck. He's looking down, but he's using Turk's body as cover. So you can see that there's a figure standing behind him, and even though he's taller than Turk, the way that you're looking up, you still got a fair
and we're
bit of
behind,
cover.
and he said the pack and heat thing to them, not to us, right?
He said it to Texas and
Oh,
Cass.
crud.
Yeah.
As you two are the only two individuals that he can see
Got it.
outside.
Gotcha.
I'm going to need you to remove that gun from its current location.
I'm going to give you to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3.
I start to cast Dimension Door on myself to his location.
All right, Turk, you're going to take some damage. There are semantic and verbal components to the spell Dimension Door, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Do I see her starting this?
You would. I'm going to give you this, Turk. You are going to see Cass start to cast this spell with the gun pressed up against the back of your head. So I'm going to give you a shot here to like wave, to be like, Cass, please don't. I'm going to give you a chance to say something.
Do I have a chance to spin around and do that fancy try to do his disarm move?
Not before he can pull the trigger on this gun. This gun is point blank. He got the drop on you. And I will say this. We'll make contested dex checks where yours is going to be at disadvantage because you're turning around before he can pull the trigger. Okay?
As she disappears, can I say drop the gun one more time? And
We're still
Okay.
We're still pending on a response from
Got it. Okay.
Turk.
Okay.
Okay. So you're still doing this, Cass.
Didn't called off yet.
Turk, are you calling her off?
I'm spinning around.
Okay. All right.
All right, then if he's doing something,
All right.
I don't know.
Then we'll do this. I tried. Somatic components. Thank you. Let's cut to inside of the bar, the tavern. Benny, you hear a sharp whistle and you hear a voice talking from up on top of the tavern, and people. It's a little muffled because it's starting to rain a little bit. That rain is starting to pound. It's not storming yet. It's just starting to be like a light rain. But you see people anxiously walking over towards the door.
Okay, Benny's stationed out front, right in front of the doors, rather. So Benny's gonna look up and be like, whoa, there, partners. I know we're all mighty excited, but I got news. The coyotes are back. The ones that took Miss Johnson's farm last month and got her cows, they're back out there. So I think it's best we all just hang tight until we can confirm that they're gone.
Persuasion check, please.
That is 17.
17. You smooth talker, Benny. Man, I don't want to get eaten up by no coyotes. Benny, can you take care of this since the lawman's kind of incapacitated at the moment?
We all hang out. It's a large group of them. They must have gone back and got some friends. I'm sure as soon as the rain passes, they'll be on to find some new stuff. Probably looking for water, just like us.
Okay.
But just all hang tight. The base will collect. Do what she does. Our buckets are all out. Everything's gonna be fine.
Okay. All right. Y'all heard Benny. Keep drinking till the coyotes pass. And people start to calm down a little bit. And Benny, you're gonna still keep standing by the door?
Yeah, because that's his main directive. If Grandma's holding the whole line.
What Grandma says, you do. So you hold the door. We got a couple of things to fix. Okay. Okay. Here, a couple of things are going to happen simultaneously, and then we're going to have to start rolling initiative to figure out how we justify this. Because I did not expect you guys to jump. I'll be completely honest. We're going to do a contested dex check. I should have. I don't know why I didn't. With a gun pressed against a PC's head. So we're going to do a contested dex check. Because he was able to hear the verbal and see the somatic components, he is going to know that you're casting and take that as a sign, and especially with Turk moving. So Turk,
Okay.
Turk, your dex check is at disadvantage. Mine is at a regular roll. Okay, go ahead and show me what you rolled. That would be good if he wasn't a rogue. Okay. Okay. So, Turk, you're going to mitigate some of this damage. You're going to move fast, but he's still got a gun pointed at your head. And as fast as you can move and try to sweep the leg, Johnny, he's still gonna hit. Okay? Or let's see if he hits. Let's play this right. 21 versus AC.
That would be a hit.
Okay. So, Turk's going to move, try to dodge out of the way of this. Cast your dimension dooring where?
Well, the intention before Turk started moving was between them and to boop his arm out of the way and push the gun out of the way, but now I'm not certain of where who is and where anyone else is.
Okay.
So that might need to be reconsidered based on what's changed since I started casting.
I'll say that you're going to appear on the roof and be close to a Turk and person who are wrestling. Okay? Who are engaged in combat. Texas,
So both of their arms are busy, both of their hands are busy.
If Turk is trying to dodge out of the way and push him and he's firing a gun, yes.
Okay.
Because it takes you 6 seconds to cast this. 6 seconds to cast it while he's pulling the trigger and Turk's dodging out of the way. All of this is happening simultaneously.
As soon as I could have squeezed in a word edgewise, I just didn't get the chance to squeeze it in at any point. So as soon as I could have squeezed in a word edgewise,
Okay.
I would have cast suggestion with another strongly worded drop the gun.
Okay. What is the save on
It
suggestion?
is a wisdom save of 17.
Okay. Now, if you are in combat with them, do they have advantage on the save? Is it like charm person?
Let me double check. I was trying to cast it in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown, but I couldn't get it in.
Okay.
However, if it's after once we're in combat, that's fine too.
No, I would be.
It just says the target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Let me double check because there's like 3 paragraphs here. But
High
it just
striking,
says
Kybra?
that can hear and understand you.
Okay.
Continue for the entire duration. No, it doesn't say. Oh, yeah. If you or any of your companions damage the target, the spell ends. So, if the problem is we're all out of order now. So, like, if I had said it before,
But
he
I,
would have dropped.
I will say that you will have said this.
Or I can say it after we're in combat. That's fine. Like, it doesn't matter when it comes through. But at the first point, the Texas could have said it. She would have said it.
She would have said, "Drop
So,
the gun."
Drop the gun. Wisdom save of 17.
Says you must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable.
So maybe it doesn't sound reasonable to him.
17.
Yeah.
That's a 14 on the die. I'm gonna make this attack against you at disadvantage. I think that's just enough time for him to freeze a little bit. 20. It's still a 20 to hit, pal.
That hits.
Okay. 13, 15. Okay, 17 points of damage. Okay. I'm going to reduce that to 8. Okay. Texas, the magic doesn't quite take hold, but with the cast disappearing and you catching him before he counted the 3, 2, 1 before all chaos ensued in that one moment. Kiara and William, you hear a gunshot. Okay. Now I'm going to have everybody roll initiative. Okay. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative. Okay. 20 to 25.
Sense.
Okay.
23, and that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes?
20, I'm sorry.
Okay. Roll off for me, Kiara.
Just a 20.
No, roll off for me, Kiara.
Oh, okay. I can do that. 16.
Okay. So, Kiara, you're going to go first. 20 to 15. William, Benny, go ahead and roll for me as well, just in case you come out. William, what did you get?
19.
Okay. 15 to 10. Turk.
12.
Benny.
10.
Texas.
Well, I have a +4 to initiative, so that's a 9.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's an 11. I forgot I have +1.
There you go. No worries.
I rolled a 5 as well. I have +14.
He's got a lot. He's got a
Are you serious?
time wizards. Time wizards. And that feat kills me every time. Okay. So Cass, you are next to these two individuals that are fighting. And you see that the gun grazes Turk's side. It does not do the sheer amount of damage that I was going to have done to him. But he takes a little bit as it grazes his side. Okay? What would you like to do?
I'm going to attempt with this apparently hostile person to charm them.
Okay. What is the save on charm person?
16 wisdom.
Okay. Rolling at advantage because the group is being antagonistic towards them. I would say at this point I can safely say that they are going to make that save. Are you doing anything with your bonus action?
Let's find out.
Okay.
I'm gonna say probably not.
Okay.
Because there's not much I would be able to do, except maybe close a little bit of the distance.
You're getting him within melee range of this individual.
I'm gonna get closer to Turk is my goal here.
Okay, Turk and him are fighting, so you're gonna get like behind Turk?
Yeah, to be able to pull him off if necessary.
I am not. You are not going to be able to break because you're still within the realm of reach here because your initial plan was to interpose yourself between a gun and a person. So you can break, but you're going to take an attack of opportunity here if you want to move behind Turk and out of this guy's reach. Because your initial plan was to put yourself in between the two of them.
And I wasn't sure where I ended up. Okay, that's fine. Then I'll just move a little closer. And not necessarily behind Turk, but I'm going to get a little closer to the both of them then.
Okay, got it. Kiara, gunshot. You're still in the pit in human form, holding the sword above your head. As it clanged down, and you still got it.
I'm gonna ask, well, since William's on top of the lip,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call up and ask, who's shooting? And then I'm gonna look exasperated at the stone. And he said that it was transmutation magic, correct?
Correct.
Well, I'm gonna try it because I'm here.
Okay.
And because I already unburied this thing, and I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic.
Great. What level?
We're gonna go 3rd level.
Got it. Go ahead and roll for me. Dispel magic on the stone.
Yep, it's just for that transmutation stuff that he told me about. So
Okay.
I can't see it, but that's what he told me.
Okay.
Modifiers +4. That is a 19 plus 4 is 23. 'Cause I can math.
That is gonna do it. With a big crack, an audible crack that echoes out throughout the entire clearing, whatever magic is surrounding this thing immediately shatters and breaks. There is an explosion of sound that echoes forth from this cannon as the stone splits in half.
Oh boy.
The jail has been removed. As the stone begins to come apart, and you see two of the largest hairy paws come out of the stone and hit the ground in front of you, Kiara. They are just like right there, like in front of you, almost as if they're crawling out of this thing. And the giant stone that was holding it could not contain a creature this size, as the two paws are going to come out. That is your action. You doing anything with your bonus action?
Whew.
Again, peeing yourself is a free action, right?
Always a free action. That's
Is
an
it a
excellent
bonus
question.
free action though?
I am not gonna use my bonus action. Does these huge paws? I like animals, so this doesn't terrify me as much as it probably should.
Okay.
So, what color are the paws?
White.
White. Okay.
I'll say this: white paws, black talons, black claws. Come on, Kiara.
I don't think a wolf was supposed to come out of here, do you? That's the end of my turn. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay, so the individual up top is going to get very frightened of what's going on. Thought he had a grip on the situation, does not have a grip on the situation. Instead, he is going to... God, he hates the magician. He is going to... I need an insight check. Deception check from you, Cass.
That's a 3. I don't know what I'm trying to deceive him at, but it's not working.
He's trying to get a bead on you. William Turk and Indigo Chameleon and Icky V should know exactly what this guy's trying to do. He starts studying your movements, starts studying how you walk and how you hold yourself. And it's almost like he's trying to take an insight into what makes you tick. And then as he grabs that insight on what makes you tick, he is going to take a dagger out of his side, and he's going to try to stab it into you, Cass. he does not need anybody around to pull off this sneak attack damage. That is a nat 20. Cass, this gonna hurt, girl.
How far away does he step from Turk in order to take the swipe?
Not at all. He does not need to do that.
Yeah.
You are on one side, Turk is on the other. He is within combat within the two of you at this point.
Dang it.
You're still in that 3-point D&D 3.5 land where you can get that 5 feet of, like, with D&D, everybody's in that same sort of span of, as long as he doesn't break it, you're fine. Okay, so Cass. 2, 4, 3, 8, 13, 15, 17,
Stop counting.
41 points of damage as the dagger slams into your side, and he hits one of them vital spots, okay? I also need a con save from you, please.
15.
Okay? Nothing happens. But you feel a weird sort of magic take hold. That's all I can give you. You feel like a weird magic takes hold of you. Okay? Texas does a...
Yes.
No? Does a 14 hit.
Oh, actually, it doesn't. Yay.
Okay? A bullet wings past your ear. As you look up, and on top of one of the other buildings in this area, as it's raining, you see a weird-looking gun. Weirdest looking gun you've ever seen. It's got a really long bullet, but it's almost got like a curly Q barrel to it. And you see this little gun sitting up there, and as this shot rings out, it seems to miss, and the figure ducks back down again. But that is going to be their turn as the wolves get closer. William. It's your turn, my dude. You're looking down at Kiara as Kiara goes, I didn't think a wolf was supposed to come out of here. And two large white paws with black talons are crawling their way out of this area where the stone was.
Okay, so first she yelled out who's shooting, and I'm like, there?
Perception check is a free action.
Okay.
High DC because it's starting to rain and the rain is picking up.
4?
You don't know. Big world, lot of shooting. Like it's just like a lot of smells. You know, like
I didn't see where the guy was to begin with the first time.
no.
So.
And I'm gonna say you guys are about you're about 100 and. You're about 100 feet away at this point from the basin to the town, you know.
Yeah. It's echoing across the... Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
Not pinpointing that. I'm a sniper.
Cool.
Exactly where that came from. Okay, so... Oh, bejesus. Alright, well, all I see is this wolf. What appears to be a wolf coming out of the
you
zone,
see
right?
two big old claws. My dude, if you want any other sort of analysis, I've already given you a free skill check right now.
Yep. Nope. I get it. So I will. How far away are the wolves that are running towards us?
You wanna look over in that way? You wanna use your bonus action to give me another perception check? You were looking for the shooters. Now you're going to direct your attention.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I'll just stay focused on the giant hairy coming out of the ground.
Okay.
That's kind of a big. How big are these paws relative? I mean, are they like a foot wide, 2 feet wide?
Tree trunk?
So a giant tree is climbing out. Yeah, sure, no problem.
No, like tree trunk.
There's 2 tree trunks
connected to like little claws. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. A little, like, maybe like a foot long.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I got that. So I'm gonna free action wet my pants. That's gonna do that.
No one notices because it's raining a little bit.
Yeah, good. It's raining, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good. All right, well then I will try to, just annoy it. So I will say a ray of frost around it to see if I can't.
You're gonna hit the ground in front of it. Got it.
Yeah.
Not hit it, but hit the ground to kind of freeze. Okay, I'm about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're utilizing the help action. So should Kiara try to attack it next turn, she would have help. I like it.
So, you want me to roll for an attack on it? Or?
Nah, I would say easily enough. You send a ray of frost out in front of it so that if it were to step on it, if this were a less scary episode of TV, you'd hear a whoa. Yeah, okay. That is William's turn. Turk.
Yes.
I'm going to draw my gun
Okay.
and attack
Okay. At close range.
at close range.
Okay. Attack at disadvantage.
Okay.
How many?
With a pistol?
I'm drawing this thing, pressing
That's
it up
close quarters
against the
combat.
side.
That's a close quarters combat weapon.
No, it's a is it? Yeah. You know what? I'll allow that. Forget about disadvantage. Just make a regular attack.
Okay. Just before pulling the trigger, my bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and do Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Hunter's mark.
And I'm not proficient in this weapon.
Okay.
So it's just going to be my dex bonus.
Yeah, if you are not proficient in this weapon, then this is just your dex bonus added to this.
First attack is going to be an 11 to hit.
11 is not... actually, wait, Cass, does an 11 hit your AC?
No.
11 doesn't hit your AC. Okay, so for a very quick moment, as you take the gun and point it at him and pull the trigger, there is a weird shimmer of magical energy, and Cass and this individual switch places. But the bullet goes wide. It doesn't hit him, and they switch immediately back. Okay? Go ahead and give me another attack roll.
That's better. 23.
23 hits, roll damage.
What's the damage?
On your pistol? I will look that up. Why don't you, I believe a pistol or a firearm is in D&D Beyond. Thank you, D&D Beyond.
I think I have
And
a gun. No, I don't. I do.
you should be able to load that into your character sheet, pal. While you are looking that up and while you are adding the pistol to your character sheet, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going in the initiative order so you can roll damage with your hunter's mark.
I've got
It's
it.
1d10 piercing.
Okay, 1d10 piercing, Turk.
Yeah. Plus dex.
1d10 plus dex.
I thought that's only if he's proficient with it.
Oh.
That might be it too.
Yeah, that's probably the case. Cause
Yep.
I just, are you sure that I don't get dex bonus with that?
Okay, so my backstory has that I'm proficient with firearms. However, my race and class does not. So technically under weapons, it doesn't show me as proficient with it, but I'm still getting credit for the +2 to dex.
Okay, Turk, go ahead and add your dex to this. In the future, if we have any weapons on our person, let's make sure that those are loaded up so at least we know how much damage they do.
I never got confirmation on what my actual weapon was.
It was you asked for a couple of 6-shooters right as we were leaving town and stuff like that.
I know.
So I'm gonna say that those are pistols. And I'm gonna add them to your inventory right now as you are rolling damage.
That's gonna be 14 plus 5 is gonna be 19 points of damage.
How much?
19.
It's a 1d10.
1d10, my dude.
I rolled an 8 plus 6 for Hunter's Mark.
6 for Hunter's Mark. Got it.
Wow.
Plus 5 for Dexterity.
Yep, 1d10 plus 5. Yep. 19. Gosh, that's a great roll. Okay. Turk pulls out the pistol, fires it off, marking this individual with the Hunter's Mark and pulling off 19. Yeah, he does not like that at all. He directs his gaze away from Cass and turns it squarely back to Turk. That That's a great move, buddy. Benny, you're hearing a commotion happen on top of. You doing anything with your movement? I'm sorry, Turk. Are you breaking contact or?
No, I'm doing all I can to keep his attention on me and get him down as quick as possible.
Mission accomplished. You got him. Benny, your turn.
So you would have heard like the stone crack and all that.
Yeah, you got a bunch of people. FML, thank you so much for the bits. You're the greatest. You would hear the commotion going on up above on the roof. You'd hear almost like tap dancing. People are having a bit of a commotion up top. That's why I was laughing earlier when we almost blew the roof off this. I was going to think, ooh, what's going to happen to the combat? No, but there's a commotion going on the roof. You don't know what's going on.
Okay, I want to walk over to the bartender.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say to him, listen, partner, I need to make sure it's real dangerous out there right now. I will pay for drinks. Tell you what. And he leans in. He's like, I will give you $20 so long as nobody leaves this establishment all night. If I see a single person leave, all bets are off. But I just need to go out there and take care of things. But I can't have anybody get in my way. Understand?
Is everything okay, Benny?
Nothing I can't handle. But I just need to make sure nobody leaves here.
You're going to see him turn back and look at the pantry, and he seems to be addressing something in the pantry, and he goes, I frickin' knew it. And he just kind of points at it and stares, and then he turns back. He's like, I'll make sure nobody leaves, Benny, I promise.
I knew I could count on you. And then I think Benny's there's a back door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to draw too much attention by going out the front, so he's going to head out the back door.
Okay, you head out the back door. I'm going to say that's going to take up your movement. Talking to him was a free action. You managed to get to the back of this establishment. That's your movement. You don't really see anything at the back of this place, Benny. But I'd see like a little ladder leading up to the top of the building. Should you need it?
Okay.
You could use your action to dash and kind of climb up this ladder to the top of the building.
I will do that.
Okay. The scene that you see before you is Turk is wrapped up with a tall, older gentleman with a beard who's got a big, swishy, like gray, dark gray duster. You never seen this individual before in your life because his back is turned to you. You can't really recognize him until Turk tries to take a stab at him. And Benny, you see your daddy.
I wasn't ready for that.
You see your daddy fighting with your new friend Turk. And Turk's pulled a gun on him and shot him, and you haven't seen your daddy for quite some time. In fact, I think the last you heard he was dead, right?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yep, but your daddy is very much alive, fighting with Turk up on top of the roof, and Cass is not too far away, and Cass is looking real rough. It's going to take your movement to get to the top here. I'm going to give you a bonus action left. You doing anything with your bonus action?
Let me see. I was not prepared for this turn of events. No, I don't think so.
Okay, that is Benny's turn. Texas.
All right, so I've got Turk and Guy, Cass, and then where am I in relation to those two Wolfie guys over there? Like, am I closer to them than I am to...
Okay, so there's one guy on the roof. You got shot at across the way from the opposite building.
From the roof above the bar, not where Benny is.
Okay.
A different.
So they're on top of the bar fighting. You're looking up, and while you were looking up, a shot winged past you. Across the street, in a different building, on a different building, not the saloon, was a long-barreled gun.
Okay.
You know coming down the road not too long from now is going to be a pack of wolves that Turk warned you are running into town.
Okay. But I got to get to the roof first.
You could do that.
Or wait for these guys that are coming in because I'm not anywhere close to the stuff going on with Turk and Cass. That's right. Okay. Wow.
So many choices
I
for y'all
know.
to make.
All right. Who's next to me? Shoot.
Nobody.
There is nobody next to me at this point. Darn it.
You said Benny went out the back door?
That's right.
Everybody else is fighting on the roof. William's about, what did I say, 100 feet away?
I am all by myself.
Yep.
But they're on not the roof of the guy who just shot at me. They're on the other roof.
Yep.
Crap. Are there any people around? Like, if I fly up to this roof, are people gonna see me?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Because I want to get up there fast. That's an 11?
Benny has done an admirable job telling a bartender, the only bartender in town, that he will pay him a lifetime's wages if he keeps everybody in the bar. This man was not a bard before this adventure started. But with that sort of motivation, this man is barding harder than any bard has ever barded. So there is nobody about except for the individual on the roof
Right.
and whoever took a pot shot at you because you were, and I quote, the only one
Right.
open.
Right. Okay. Well,
And
my
I
best
quote-
bet then. I mean, honestly, I can get to those wolves better from the roof anyway. Maybe. with my
Sure.
gun. Wow, I don't like the way you said that, but hey, crap. I'm gonna try to get up to the.
Y'all are high level now. I want it understood. I have to up the ante.
Yeah.
I have never seen you
All right.
this
Well,
flummoxed.
fly lasts
ever.
for 10
She's having
minutes.
trouble.
So I'm gonna try to check out this thing that took a pot shot at me,
You take your action
and I fly.
and you fly up in the air.
I want to see what this thing is that took a pot
Perception
shot at me.
check at advantage.
That's the most sarcastic advantage I've ever used.
Okay. That is a 21.
You see a rock.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. There's a.
You see a big old rock on top of this
But
building.
before I saw a twisty, curly gun.
Yeah, and you see a big old rock and you see a twisty, twirly gun.
Does it look like the rock is holding the gun?
Yeah.
So obviously it's probably not a rock.
Sure.
Right. But I just used up my action, and I don't have a bonus action.
You do not.
Other than inspiring, but there's nobody around me to inspire.
You would look down and see Benny looking on in awe and amazement. You would see Cass standing not too far away looking hurt and beat up. And you would see Turk fighting with a taller individual.
All right, can I use the rest of my movement to go over where they are then?
Where the rest of the group is?
Yeah,
Are you
because I
going
might as well try to help them.
keep floating in the air?
No, I want to get onto a surface as quickly as possible.
Okay, so how many feet in the air are you going? Going 10 feet up,
As
10 feet over,
Only
10
the
feet
minimum
down.
I need to get up and over to where the rest of the group is.
Cool. You landing on the roof?
Yeah, I'm gonna land on the roof,
Okay, you land on the roof.
and yeah, and I'm seeing if I've got a bonus cure. I don't have a bonus action cure wounds. Crud. No, it's a misty step. That's my bonus action.
Cool.
I don't have a bonus action cure wounds. Crud. All right. I don't see the wall. Okay, yeah, that's my action for now. I'm gonna have to wait to do what I need to do until the next round.
All right, that's Texas's turn. It's time for the individual that was inside that big old rock. They're gonna.
No, not necessary.
No. They're
Wait.
coming out.
No.
They're gonna take their first halting steps out of that big old rock that was holding them, and as they do, their footing is gonna be a little off, and they're gonna slip and slide just a tiny little bit, not quite getting their footing. Kiara and William, what stands before you is a giant white wolf. This thing is huge. Let's say it's we're not hitting Clifford the Red Dog, but we're pretty close. This is a giant wolf. It's the biggest one you've ever seen. Where its eyes should be are little blue pools of sparking arcane energy. And it's standing in the space and sniffing the air and looking up at the water. And then its head cocks to the side, and it begins to walk past you, Kiara. It is going to use all of its movement to try to walk past you out of the dirt and start to crawl out of the dirt. Would you like to take an opportunity attack?
I don't want to attack it because I don't know if it's hostile or not.
Okay.
I'm literally just. Oh, wait! I just talk. Like that's literally all I can do. Big dog.
Give me an animal handling check.
Oh boy. Where
Yeah,
did I put
well, it's
my-
an animal. You're trying to handle it.
Yeah, I understand. Love the sheet. There we go. Animal handling is a +4. That's an 18 total. 14 plus 4.
18 total. You stop for a second and try to gesture towards this wolf, like to try to get it to stop. In any way that you can to get it, and you think you've caught its attention. It stops its climb and turns back to look at you and cocks its head and does that dog thing where like a confused animal will just sort of tilt their head. If it wasn't right in front of you and as tall as it is, it would almost be cute. Because
Still cute to me.
the lips curl back a little bit and you see the teeth in front of you. Okay? I'll say that that's his turn. Cass, your turn.
I hate
Do you want?
not metagaming. Cass
Oh,
is going to
are you metagaming right now?
No, I hate not metagaming. I hate not knowing. I hate that Cass doesn't know that that's Benny's father. So, let's hurt him.
Okay.
So Cass is going to cast Inflict Wounds on the person who just attempted to kill her.
Okay.
Right, right.
Give me an attack roll, please.
$15 plus 19
Okay. So 19 total.
attack. Yes.
Okay, that's gonna hit. Roll damage.
I kind of want to turn the camera so you can see it. It's 42.
42 points of what level of inflict wounds?
5th.
5th level. Okay. Let me know next time if it's casting above the normal level that it's being cast at. Okay.
Okay.
That's just something that I need you guys to do from here as we get into higher ups and stuff like that. Just so it's not like the attack landed. I cast it at 8th level. Like so, just let me know before you cast because that spell slot gets burned either way. Okay, in one fell swoop, Cass leans forward and grabs onto the arm of your pops, Benny, and you see dark necrotic energy leak out of Cass and up the arm of this individual. It is necrotic, correct? Inflict wounds?
Let me double check for you.
It's a sick, dark energy
necrotic.
that leaks into your dad's arm, and he lets out a scream that is echoed by the individual across on the other building, who screams out as they see this individual's knees buckle, and he rights himself again. Turk, you had his attention, but this almost killed him, so his attentions are elsewhere. Cass, that is your action. You doing anything with your bonus action?
Picking him off.
Flicking them off. Got it. Kiara, you might be on press or like mute.
Yeah, we're good. Sorry. I had a coughing fit, so I muted myself.
Oh, no worries.
I'm going to attempt to use Speech of Beast and Leaf.
Okay.
Communicate with this puppers, because as an animal lover, it's puppers, no matter what size it is.
This is your racial trait, correct?
This is my racial trait.
So it cannot communicate back with you. This is just you communicating simple ideas.
Yes.
Okay. What simple ideas do you try to communicate?
Friend. Because I don't want it to attack me or William, so friend.
Okay.
And like help, question mark almost, like, do you need help? But I know that that's a little complicated to like help question mark.
Okay. Persuasion check.
Okay, I can attempt that, absolutely. Oh, what do I have at advantage for? Why do I have persuasion at advantage?
I don't know. Why do you have
I
persuasion?
just want to
advantage?
check why I have it at advantage. I think it might be an item. Let me just double check.
Yeah, double check that.
Is it this one? Is it a fae?
It is not a fae.
Okay, so then I don't have advantage.
Okay.
It's the belt of fae kind. That is a +5. Oh my god, math. 17.
17.
Real simple math.
Okay. He sniffs you. The wolf is going to sniff you and sniff up towards William.
Okay.
Doing anything with your bonus action.
I really only have one thing as a bonus action, and I'm not sure that I need to use it right now.
Okay.
So, no, but I will attempt to, like, because it's taller than me, I'm going to just easily assume I'm going to try and, like, climb a little bit of the dirt, so I'm kind of, like, level with it.
Okay. I'm about it. You start to climb up a little bit of the dirt. All right. So, guy across the roof is going to see what Cass did and is going to take a shot at Cass. Cass, a 32 to hit.
That's a shot with a gun, right?
That's a shot with a gun.
So, okay. Never mind.
Yeah. There is a special cloak that is not a very powerful magic item, but if you're not moving, it makes the wearer look like a rock. It's a little elven cloak, but it's an old school magic item. Does that hit, Cass? That's definitely going to hit. I don't know why I asked that.
A 32.
I didn't even take myself off mute to answer you. Yeah, that's gonna hit.
16. 16. Nope, sorry. 20 points of piercing damage as that bullet's going to rip into your shoulder.
Oh.
Oh.
I would have seen that. Now, that's an attack roll, though. Oh.
That is an attack roll.
That was a big attack
That was a
roll.
big
Never mind.
attack
Sorry.
roll. That was a 32 to hit.
No, I couldn't have fixed that. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
What if?
Then I need a strength saving throw.
Oh, that landed poorly. Landed on my keyboard. 19.
19. Cass, you feel your legs almost give out because of this shot ripping through your shoulders a little bit, but you are fine. However, Cass, you are bleeding. You have a wound, and you are going to continually take damage until this wound is tended to. Okay, so you feel that something got punctured, something bad happened when that bullet ripped through you. Okay, like it hit something, and you're feeling your life force start to leak out a little bit. Okay, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. The other individual is going to. That was across the street. Oh, what's he gonna do? He is gonna reach into his bag. He's going to reach into his pocket with one hand, and he's going to hold up what looks to be a gold badge and shove it in Turk's face, and then make another attack roll against Cass.
I can only imagine him like shoving it against Turk's like cheek and look at the thing.
Think more Lilo multipass, but if you want to envision that better, you can.
That's another gun attack, right?
This is
Not a
another gun
magical
attack.
I can't.
This is a
counterspell
knife. This is a
guns.
knife.
Yeah,
You can't
but I can
counterspell gun.
guns and
Yeah,
knives.
these guys don't have a lot of magic. We're going a little. Okay. That's gonna be some damage again. Cass. 6, 9, 13.
You had me at 13.
18.
You can stop there. You can. I promise you can stop there. She's
What-
dead. She's making death saves.
She's unconscious. Okay. Cass hits the ground. Cass, I still need it.
However-
No. I need a con
You
save.
gave me an item. Oh yeah, but the amulet of death ward you gave me a long time ago.
Are you doing that? You want to read the specifics on Deathborn?
Con save. That's a 9. It's not the spell itself. It's an item that you gave Kiara. I
Okay.
believe it's Kiara and myself.
Okay.
When the wearer drops to 0, the amulet shatters and brings back to 1.
Cass goes back to 1 hit point. And you feel that weird magic take hold again. With this dagger stab. That is Cass's turn. Ooh.
Wait, that's not that.
That was the wolf's turn.
Yeah.
Cass already went. William, your turn.
Okay. So big puppers, got it.
Huge puppers. And Kiara's over there like,
Perfect.
Talking like a Wookiee?
Kiara's over there like, all right.
Gotcha.
I can't make those sounds. I'm sorry.
Not angry. I'm just disappointed.
$5
I've
bucks
tried.
for your try.
You get
Okay.
nothing. Good day,
all right.
sir. You lose.
So now there's been a couple of shots, another shot fired
There's
from
there's been another shot fired.
right.
If you had
Can
looked
I-
up, you would have seen Texas. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Like,
Okay, so I see Texas, frizzy, curly red hair and all. Got it. Do I see anybody else at this point? Do I see the fight on the other roof?
you'd see individuals fighting on the roof.
Okay, I just can't make out who they are.
Give me another perception check.
Yeah, sure, why not?
It's raining. You're trying to look 100 feet in the air and discern people that are fighting 100 feet away
Sure.
from you. With a giant
Oh.
wolf walking in front of you.
23?
Yeah. Sure. You'd see individuals, and you think if you squint real hard, you can scope out. Turk is fighting with somebody who's holding up something silver or something gold right in front of Turk's face. Turk is reading Sky Agent, badge number 0042. That's what you're reading, Turk. But William, you see a big old fight happening about 100
Okay.
feet away.
Now, okay, so before that, I was just gonna do one thing.
Sure.
Can I? Because I was looking at message.
Okay.
All right, and it says you point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. The target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Correct.
It doesn't say anywhere else that it requires them to speak any languages or not speak any languages or understand any languages.
Cool.
So you can cast a spell through solid objects if you are familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier,
Do you
but
just
it's out in the open,
okay?
right?
Right. That is something that exists. Would you like to use this?
I do on the puppers.
Okay. What is the message you are sending to the puppers?
How did you get trapped in there?
Okay.
We set you free. Is this the end of the world?
Okay.
And I thought help ? Was a hard concept.
You're like, listen, I don't want to overwhelm it. Friends, help. Hey man, how are you? Like for real, how are you, Wolfie? And like, who put you in there? And look at it. I see that trinket. Hello. Okay, William, I like it. That's your action. You doing anything with your bonus action?
I just can't. I can't discern how to be actionable on the other thing that I've seen because it's just a jumble mess.
Hey man.
I don't see any of the wolves that are coming running into town. This is the giant thing that I have to deal with in front of me.
They're closer,
And I
but
don't wanna attack it.
you think they're about a minute away from hitting the town.
Okay, so I don't want to attack it because it's ginormous.
Got it.
And I've already peed my pants once, so my bladder is empty.
Turk!
Peeing in your pants is a free action.
Peeing in your pants is always a free action.
I did the first time, but it's raining, so nobody
You
noticed.
aren't cool until you pee your pants. Turk, your turn.
I need to know, do I recognize this badge? Is this something that's going to register?
You ain't never heard of Sky Agents before, but it looks like the law. Looks like a U.S. Marshal badge.
I'm actually going to raise my gun up to his head and going to burn my action, just saying, we've got wolves coming down on this town. If you're a lawman, why are you stopping me from protecting this town?
Okay.
In my best intimidation voice that I can make.
He seemed to say intimidatingly. Okay.
And or persuasively.
Go ahead and give me an intimidation check as you point your gun at him.
And that's an advantage, and that's going to be a 20.
Okay. He is going to, using his reaction, take the barrel of the gun and center it onto his forehead. He's not going to have time to speak, but he's just going to fix your aim and pop it right here. It's got that big sheriff energy. There you go. That's Turk's action. You do
Bonus action, I'm casting Healing Spirit.
your hunter. Okay, cool. Does that mess with your hunter's mark?
It will drop the Hunter's Mark
Healing Spirit. Where are you centering that?
on Cass.
Okay, cool. So on her turn, she starts healing, correct? Or right when you drop it?
Or I believe I caused the healing. As a bonus action, your turn, you can move the spirit up to 30 feet space at higher levels. Whenever a creature you can see moves into the spirit space for the first time or a turn starts its turn there.
So on the start of her turn, she gets a D6 of damage, or D6 of healing.
1d6 healing.
Yep. Got it. And you can only do this... You can only do this how many times? You can only heal 5 times.
5 times.
Got it. Okay. That's your action and your bonus action. Benny. Hey, Benny.
So I think upon seeing his dad, so Benny's dad, to his knowledge, died when he was 12 years old. So he hasn't seen his dad for a while, but he's lived every day with his mom who had to tend the farm all on his own. So I think he's like happy that he's like, hold on. So I think Benny is going to, thinking about this, cast Zone of Truth on his dad.
Okay.
Question.
Hey, everybody. Benny, what is your spell save DC for Zone of Truth?
Charisma save of 14.
Everybody give me a charisma save of 14, please. This should hit everybody that's on the roof right now. Texas.
I'm fine.
You're fine.
16.
Nope. Cass, you are compelled to tell the truth. You don't have to answer, but Benny will know if you're lying. Okay? Turk.
13.
What was your spell save DC, Turk? Or
13.
Benny, what was yours? 14? Yeah. So Turk, you're under this influence as well. Pops makes his save, but then you can feel him purposely fail it. So Pops is under the effect of a 2. He purposely fails that save. Okay? And he looks over at you as you cast, and he goes, Benny?
He just took that massive damage, so Benny's definitely going to go forward. Just being like, what are you doing here? You ain't supposed to be here. You ain't supposed to be anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. He can't respond. It's not his turn. But you say that. You doing anything else?
No, he's really focused on this. He wouldn't do anything else but try and get the answers he needs.
Texas.
Okay, so since I still got fly for another 9 minutes and something seconds, I'm going to fly over to Cass. I'm going to strum that guitar twice because I'm doing 2 things. I'm going to do a bardic inspiration and I'm going to do a heal on her.
Okay.
But I'm going to do that with the guitar because it seems weird to sing right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to use a 4th level Cure Wounds on
Okay.
Cass, which is 4d8. That's going to be 10, 17, 21, 26 points of healing.
Okay. So your spell connects.
Okay.
It doesn't connect with Cass. You send that healing energy flowing out to Cass.
Yeah.
And it looks like the healing is gonna affect her, but it doesn't. You see the individual in the space heal for that 26 points. The guy that's currently in melee with Turk
The OC I know is Benny's dad.
The
He's the one
OC that you know
heals.
is it, and then that subtle magical connection to Cass ends, pops off. That she picked up the last time she was stabbed with the dagger. And then
Okay.
the time before that she was stabbed with the dagger and she failed that con save again.
So he heals, but then the connection is broken between the two of them.
Correct. So with your action, you see him, some of his wounds start to close up.
Ah! All right. Well, at the same time, I'm inspiring. Well, I was planning on inspiring Turk. So it's with that second strum of the guitar. So it is a D10 to you of inspiration for when you need it. But shoot. All right. Well, I'm gonna say shit.
Well, Texas, that is always a free action.
Stubs her toe.
And I'm gonna look really annoyed at bearded guy over there.
Okay. The wolf is going to start to climb up out. Okay? When it passes by Kiara and William, it's going to brush up against you just naturally climbing out of this hole. Okay? When it does, you are treated to a vision. The vision is a group of Native Americans in the forest, and they are gathered around a fire. And behind them, you hear gunshots, and you hear hooting and hollering. And you see, as they're all gathered around the fire, they get closer and closer to this fire. And as they get closer and closer to this fire, they walk closer to it, they've got hands drawn, they walk towards it, and as it does, a big old rock is going to form where these individuals were, almost like it's covering the fire. Okay? Almost as if they're casting stone shape on themselves. Okay? And it's going around the circle and they're covering the fire, and that is the image that you are greeted to. Based off the questions, who did this to you? What happened to you? Why are you here? Now, as it comes up, an individual you have no idea who it is greets this wolf on the outskirts. It is a little old lady. It is a grandma type who is walking forward, sees this thing, looks off in the distance, and is going to point her wrinkly hand out towards the edge of the town, placing one hand on the wolf, placing one hand out, and as she does, a wall of fire is going to engulf the town. Not the buildings, but the outskirts of the town. Powerful enough to go around it and stop the wolves from entering in and being held at bay by the fire. Does that make sense? Okay. That is that creature's turn. Okay. Cass.
Is going to look at Benny and look at Trenchcoat Douche and say, "You know this person?" to Benny. And that's it.
Cannon now.
Kiara. I'm going to say for the time being that you guys are officially out of combat unless it sparks off. There is a lot of tension on that rooftop right now.
Okay. Kiara is going to climb out of the hole.
Okay.
As best as she can in her non-badger form, so it's probably going to take a minute. She's not good with dirt.
If we're out of combat, I can assist.
Okay. Now that I'm out, can I see this pack of wolves coming towards the town?
No, because now you can see the fire that has basically cordoned off the town. I will say, Kiara, as you get out, you would see Lina outside of the sheriff's office, not too far away, crouched down on all fours, hands digging in human form, breathing. In tandem with the wolf. both their chests raising and falling at the same time as this wolf looks off in the direction of where that fire happened.
Okay. And there's this little old woman by the wolf?
Looks like her eyes are closed, her hand's touching it, and her hand is raised up, and she looks like she's concentrating. Looks like she's sweating. It's been a while since Tia cast any magic.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to use my telepathy at the wolf. And I'm going to ask it, what can I do to help?
Okay. Cool. I like it. Wolf, you're up on the roof. Everybody's at a bit of a standstill at the moment. As Cass just looked up at Benny and says, "You know this guy?" And you see the badge being held in front of your face.
I'm assuming you mean Turk, which...
Oh, wait, nope. Hang on. Nope. His turn. He's going to take the knife and put it back in his sheath. And you see him turn his head over to the other roof and give a very quick shake of the head. And as he shakes his head, the rain will stop. And he goes, "Benny is my son. I put a gun to your head because I stumbled into this town with a purpose, and I caught you on the roof hiding with an arrow pointed at one of the only exits and entrances into this town. And I don't know you from Adam. So how was I to know when you were the only person that I could see with a weapon drawn of any sort pointed at the exit and entrance of this town?" We're going to do a little bit of this scene first. We'll cut back to you, William and Kiara.
Okay, so am I free dialogue right now?
You are free dialogue.
Simple question may have fixed this whole thing at the very beginning. I will holster my weapon, and I'm going to walk back over to my bow and pick it up and knock the arrow and see where the wolves are at.
Okay.
I'm basically ignoring them at this point.
That's fine. You turn your back to him.
Benny's got his eyes trained on him the entire time.
He goes, "What can I say?"
I mean, you could start with the truth for starters. That's really what I'm looking for here, because we all thought you were gone.
I was, Benny. I was. I work for a group of men whose aim is something brand new that nobody's ever tried before. Their job is to protect regular folk from individuals like the group of men that are trying to storm into this town and utilize a power that was found here for their own nefarious purposes. That biggin that you see not too far away, and he nods his head, he goes over next to your grandma, is what we call an alpha. An alpha is not a wolf. An alpha is the spirit of all wolves. It is a connection. It is a shot of whiskey that gives men the courage or the tenacity, so much so that the law cannot put them down. But I work for a group of lawmen that come in and solve problems like that, but in order to do that, I had to die. Because I didn't want nothing happening to your grandma, your mama, or you. So when the opportunity was given to me to save the farm and to die in the life I knew, I took it. You got any questions?
You could have took me with you. You could have took me with you.
I did not wish...
I would have gone wherever you went.
I did not wish this life for you, Benjamin.
Mama know?
No.
Are you gonna leave again when it's all done and just not tell nobody nothing?
Probably.
So what am I supposed to do? Just not tell anybody and you just leave?
First thing
Again?
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go check on your grandma, because she's channeling a lot of power right now. And she yells out. He yells out across the other way. He's like, "Shell, get off the roof and go check on the woman." And you see that little rock is going to turn into the only other being that's Texas's size that you have seen for quite a bit of time. It is this man who has so much hair on his body that you have a hard time seeing any bare skin. And you realize he's not wearing a shirt. He is just this hairy fur ball of a man, and he is going to jump off of the roof and start toddling over to where Benny, your grandma, is, next to this big old giant wolf. You also see an elven girl who is she's got long brown hair, and she's sitting on the roof with you all. Her spell drops, and she's just kind of like kicking her legs off the roof, like ever so quietly, and she's got green vines that seem to run up her arms and around her head, almost like a poison ivy costume. Like if you were seeing like an Arkham, like a poison ivy, she's dressed all in vines. And as you all come over, does anybody here speak sign language? Anybody have it in their character background that they would speak sign language? Then she would look at all of you, and then she would give a small wave in your direction, and just continue to kind of look off towards the fire, kicking her legs back and forth. But you see the rain has stopped completely. Okay?
Cass is going to try to heal herself during the conversation, and I will use Cure Wounds at 5th level, please. And that
Well,
will
also,
be...
I've got the healing spirit that's up there on the roof.
He's maintaining that healing spirit, so he would get it 6 times. So go ahead and roll 6d... No. 6d6s.
If all of my healing is being diverted, but I don't know that, I'm going to attempt to cast it on myself as well.
You can do that as well. Turk, go ahead and roll 6d6 for me for your healing spirit. This will help her mitigate healing up a little bit.
Well, if Benny's dad's getting all the healing, then it's not
It was just
really
that
like,
one shot.
No.
That's a thing that affected me.
Cass,
I came back. even
Cass,
after.
give me an intelligence check.
Okay. That went off the desk. That was a nat 1. Cass has got 1 health right now, and she's not feeling very smart.
Okay, yeah, you got it. You're right. You're wary about casting magic because you don't want him affected by it. So you're a little wary about it. Everybody else on top of the roof, except for Turk. Turk is a little... Texas and Benny, give me intelligence checks. May not be your strong suit, but it is a suit.
Well, I rolled a 7 on the die, and that is a +0, so 7.
7.
Okay, 66. I rolled 21. However, I think I only get 5d6 because of the healing spirit.
I think you get...
There's only 5 passes.
Oh, okay. I think you get 5... Oh, that's right, because you're 4 plus 1 is
4
5.
plus
Yeah.
1. And so it's going to be 19.
Yeah. Benny?
16.
16. Texas, you're not quite sure. You got to guess it might be an ability. Benny, you're looking down at your dad's side, and dad's got a weird-looking dagger. And you saw enough of the instance to realize that when he stabbed this person with the dagger, something about it allowed him to be able to switch places with this individual or decide what spells affected them or him every time that person was affected. Okay? Dad's walking with some new hardware. Okay? Let's cut back to Kiara and William. That fire is a raging, but it looks like she's having a hard time holding this fire.
So, can I say or take a roll in that I recognize the type of magic she's doing?
Sure.
And maybe I can assist her?
Are you doing a detect magic, or are you doing an arcana check?
An Arcana check.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
That is a 21 total.
It's Wall of Fire, but she didn't cast it. She asked for it. This has a tinge of the divine in it. Her magic ain't coming from like learning or in the blood or something like that. There's something about the way she's almost asking permission for the fire to be there and continually asking permission for the fire to be there. But it's got something to do with the wolf. Chubby Cobalt Gaming, thanks for joining us. You're the best.
Could so if she's asking the wolf, is there any way that I can become the conduit as I'm stronger than she is by asking for it?
Does William have a deity?
No.
Then as you would place your hand upon it, you would feel no tug, no gentle pull, no nothing along that source. You would just
Not that I can
feel
ask the wolf for it. Okay.
you've got the right phone, you've got the wrong adapter.
Gotcha. Okay. So do I see the Lina?
You see Lina crouched down on all fours, kind of like breathing heavy with the wolf.
All right.
Chubby Cobalt, just need that god dongle. Nope.
Right?
Nope. As soon as it came out of my lips, This is a family show. So I will say this one time and one time only. That was my nickname in college, God Dongle. And now we're done. We don't have to say it. We don't have to talk about it anymore. That was fine. It's fine.
Also,
It was
my new
not.
band name.
It was not. It's great. No more. No more God Dongle. No more. Good Lord, man. It's a God Dongle Dangle. It's got a.
With a little jingle jangle.
All right. Yeah, you would see Lina crouch down.
Why? Okay.
God Dongle is the name of this episode now. Thank you, Jupiter of Witsman.
Is there?
God Dongle.
Could I make or at least my assumption is now that she is related to the Indians the individuals that came together.
You know what?
and
You know what happens when you
circled the
assume
fire?
things.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So I want to make some
Sure.
insight.
You're
check?
gonna head over that.
Insight?
You're gonna head over towards her direction.
Yes.
Chubby Cobalt Gaming, go ahead. That was so good. Go ahead and pick a player that you would like to grant an inspiration to. We're gonna call this.
And it can't be me because I actually technically have one.
You have one, but this will be Dongle.
I already have one as well.
Dongle Inspiration. So pick someone that has Dongle. Cass, you got Dongle Inspiration.
Whoop, whoop.
Are you
Okay.
Are you inspired?
Thank you.
Okay,
Major League.
cool. So while William is headed off in this direction, Kiara, what are you doing? William, are you communicating any of this with Kiara? Or are you just heading off to where you see?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to message Lina because it doesn't look like she's responding. So I'll message her.
A la
Try to contact her.
the Shining, Lina isn't here right now.
Okay.
I had already asked if there was something I could do to help, and I didn't get any response.
From the wolf.
Right.
You did.
Oh. Did I?
You did.
That's the response?
Spoilers, dear. I can neither confirm nor deny, but I will tell you that the wolf shows specifically what to show you.
Well, I mean, I saw that vision. But
Yes.
I asked him if this situation.
If there's anything situationally you can do. It doesn't quite understand the concept of individually what can I do. But if you would like to come over, I would say that you were able to sense the same thing.
Okay. I know I don't personally have a deity, but I am a druid, and I do connect with the essence of an animal to change into an animal. It's a gray line.
Your power derives from the earth itself. It's
Right.
Whatever you call it, but your energy comes from the earth.
Would I be able to lend my strength? Like, can I use that deep speech kind of thing and like lift? I guess like lifting up, like lending. Strength.
Concentration check, please. Almost like you were doing a con save on a spell. As you are going to come over, you're going to place your hand on the other side of this wolf and sort of lend your energies to it.
Okay. Do I do it straight? Because I do have advantage on con saves as a warcaster.
If you have Warcaster, then this would be an advantage.
Okay.
You're maintaining concentration on a spell.
18.
Okay.
16 plus
Okay, Kiara, you take your hand, you place it on. You trust me, right?
Yeah.
As a DM, you are flooded with energy and not only energy, but you are flooded with anger, fear, pain, loss. All of these emotions seem to be running through you, and your head tilts over at this grandmother, and you realize that she's taken on the brunt of it. Now, you are carrying the load. You are helping carry the load, but she is not letting go. And as you guys continue, you realize that the anger, the fear, the pain, the resentment, the hurt, the loss, all of it is the component for the fire. This alpha, for whatever reason, is allowing you to channel whatever this is through the wolf and manifest it outward as magic. And you realize that as you're holding on to this wolf, Kiara, all of your spell slots come back. And if a small level caster could feel this, you would feel the presence of 7th level spells open up, 8th level spells open up, 9th level spells open up. Like, you feel juiced. You feel good to go. All of your spell slots return. However, to do this, you are having to go through emotional duress. Does that make sense?
So me on a Tuesday. Got it. Perfect.
Time to take a break from reality by doing the same stuff I always do. Boop.
No.
Kobold, untie the dongle. Hi, everybody from Chubby Kobold Gaming. Welcome. We love you very, very much. Thank you for joining us. It's good to do that dongle. We have to change this episode title. Okay. While this is happening, the little hairy guy is coming over and walking over towards the wolf, and William, you're heading over towards Lina. You see the little hairy man as he comes over, and he's just kind of like walking over, and he's like, "Hey." He says that to you, William. He just goes. He's very Captain Caveman. He's like, "Hey."
Nodding.
And he walks past you and just starts tracing the arcane sigils in a circle around Kiara, the wolf, and the grandma lady.
Okay.
Cool. Cass, Texas, Turk, Benny, you're up top with Dad.
First thing I'd be doing. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say Benny's gonna head to the ground to join everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah, first thing I'd be doing is looking over in the direction that Cass and William were, because I'd be concerned about them. And would I see them
Kiara
kind
and
of?
William.
Sorry, Kiara and William. Would I be joining? Would I see them joining? Like, would I see where they're going? Like from the riverbank to the place?
You not only that.
I don't know how small this area is.
You would see this because you have enough time. You would see Kiara next to the biggest wolf you've ever seen. Almost catatonic, standing next to a little grandma lady while a hairy man draws circles in the dirt around them.
I gotta go find out what's up with that. Obviously, everybody there looks magical, and I still have fly left, so...
Texas just goes butterfly in the sky.
Heading down to Kira and William as I'm already going down towards them. And I think it's like 60 feet of flying speed with that spell. So I'm getting there as soon as I can with that amount of flying speed.
Kiara isn't speaking. You see her lips moving almost as if she's like her eyes are open, but she's not seeing anything around her. Neither is the older woman who's got her eyes firmly closed shut. But Kiara is like mouthing words. The green girl is going to what is the green girl going to do?
So there's essentially no sound going on in this whole little, like, there's the whole bunch of people, but nobody's talking. Everybody's
William's
silent.
walking towards Lina as you walk over towards the group. Turk does look awesome. They love the hat. The chat loves your hat. Texas, as you leave, you'd see the little hairy guy tracing the circle in the sand. Just be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, y'all, I don't want to interrupt. What's going on?
I don't know. And he's gonna keep tracing in the circle.
Okay, I'm looking over at Kiara because she's generally the most logical and responsible one of the group, and I'm hoping she can give me some guidance.
Turk, what are you doing?
I'm looking to see if I can see the wolves through the
Perception check, my dude. Let's do this right.
Let's see. Oh, come on. It's got to roll.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I love you.
There we go. It's a 20.
20.
Dirty 20.
All right. What do I want to give you with the 20? Okay. You see 7 of these big wolves. They're not nearly as big as the alpha, which I will call it now because some of you know what this is. But they are circling around, and one of them's getting close and kind of sniffing it. While one of them gets close and sniffs it, an individual will come out of wolf form. The individual is a very tall man. He's got a beard. He's stark naked. And he is going to kick this one that's sniffing the fire into the fire just to see what it does. And as he kicks that wolf into the fire, you see this thing engulfed. This thing catches and starts screaming out. You can see his dongle and everything. Thank you, TTT.
You can see his dongle dangle.
You can see his dongle dangle and those spurs jingle. Family, yeah. But you see him kick this individual, and there is a do not pass go. There is a do not collect $200. This thing catches and screams. Right before it dies, Turk, it's going to revert back to a man's form and just charbroil on the grill.
How far away is this big guy that just kicked the other wolf into the fire from me?
200 feet?
I'm taking a shot at him. I'm still thinking of wolf.
Okay.
Firing. I'm taking a shot.
Okay. Is this within range for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, give me a shot.
Well, plus 12, it's a 21.
21 hits, my dude. And it's going to do a little bit of fire damage, too. Roll damage for me. Give me a D8 of fire damage, as that arrow is going to catch, I think, on the fire as you shoot this guy. It's going to dip into it a little bit.
Okay, the arrow damage is 9.
Okay.
And the fire damage is going to be 8. I'll take it.
Okay. With a surprised look and a yelp, because he is the only one of them in human form, he takes the arrow and it goes flying through the air and strikes him in the chest, and he screams. And as he does, his eyes are going to look up at you and they're going to lock. And Turk, you share a moment, pal. You see a little bit of yourself. Mm-hmm. And as that happens, he's going to maintain eye contact with you and smile. And he's going to give you a little wave.
And I'm going to put an arrow through his hand.
Okay. He's going to say something to the wolves, and they're going to start running, but he's going to keep waving, and he's going to put the hand up, and you see it's almost a teasing gesture. Go ahead and give me this attack roll at advantage.
Thank goodness, because the first roll was a 1.
Okay? He's putting the hand up. He's going like this.
And 27 on the second.
Okay? Right through the hand. Roll damage.
Am I including fire damage in this?
You're including fire damage in this. Give me another D8 of fire damage.
Okay, arrow damage is 14. And fire damage is 6.
Okay? There is a flurry of movement. God. As you see blood trailing off of his chest and trailing off of his arm, and the wolves come back. So real quick, like we're running back this way to grab something, we're coming back, and they hand him Wolf by the scruff of his neck with the bloodied hand. And he's still looking at you, Turk. And he's smiling real big. And he takes his bloodied hand and he pulls the arrow out and licks his hand and then taps the edge of Wolf's nose. Just a little bit of blood right on the snout. And he does this. Are you watching me?
Hey, Turk's watching.
And he tosses Wolf in the fire. And he just laughs. Puts his hands out, stretches back, and just like breathes in the air. Blood still coming off of his chest. Blood still coming off of his hand. His chest just bared for you. Turk, I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
That's going to be an 8.
The bow and arrow drop. And anybody up on the roof, you just see Turk pulling back an arrow that's not there and firing it off. Like he's firing a bow and arrow that's not in his hand as it's hit the ground, and Turk is just tears running down his face, pulling and repeatedly shooting off these arrows with nothing in his hand. Benny, you would see it. Cass, you would see it. Something happened to Turk.
How many there's the main guy that just tossed Wolf in.
Okay.
And then there's
six wolves.
There's 6 of them. Shoot, we can't.
Nope, there's one guy, 5 wolves, one got kicked in the fire. So 1, 6 on the end.
And it's just Turk, me,
As
Kiara
this
Williams.
happens, and Turk's firing off, he will go back down into wolf form, and they'll go running back up the way they came.
And Wolf, when he got tossed in the fire, it did not look like there was any hope of saving. Like he was already gone.
You have no idea.
I have no idea. Okay,
You left the roof.
I flew up. So
you would have seen. Then I would say yes. You would have seen Turk firing off at this guy. I'm going to give everybody would have heard this scream and this scene take place.
Would I have been within 60 feet? Like, could I have? Because I can do 2 concentration spells at once. So what I would have immediately wanted to do as soon as he went in is try to pull him out of the fire, levitate him.
He's
200
feet
dead.
away.
Okay.
So you could start flying.
Okay.
And
all right. So I'm trying to get there as soon as possible to try to help because I don't know whether Wolf is alive or dead.
Got it.
Okay.
You start flying as fast as you can towards the fire.
All right.
And when you get there, there are 2 shapes in the fire. One looks like the man, and one looks like the what looks to be what used to be left of Wolf.
Okay. As soon as I'm within range, if I don't know that if I know that there's the potential that Wolf is savable,
Okay.
I'm gonna levitate him out of the fire while I'm still flying.
Okay. You managed to head over towards the fire and cast levitate into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You pull out the charred remains of a surfboard.
Okay. At least he's
You've got-
not that. Then at least Turk can decide if he wants to put him back in the fire. But at least he has the choice.
Okay.
At least it wasn't
Cool.
taken from him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna land as soon as I can and just put my hand on Turk's shoulder.
Okay. Turk is still firing arrows for a bow that's not there.
Turk, there are no arrows.
Do I come out of it? Does he come out of it at all?
Give me another wisdom save.
Oh my gosh. I just keep firing that
It hit
bow
him.
and arrow.
It hit him too hard. It hit him too hard. Like something happened. He's not doing well. Benny, you see one of the new folks, like you recognize heartache. You don't know the specifics of it, and you see his friend Texas trying to talk him out of it, but he's hurting.
Duh. I'm gonna start humming. I'm gonna cast inspiration on him. I'm gonna hum.
He's already got it.
Oh, he does still. That's right.
Would you like to add an inspiration to that last one?
To my 6?
To your 6.
Oh.
Would a 10 improve my chances for that 6?
I'll say yes. You hear a little bit of humming from Texas as she's next to you, and you manage to snap yourself out of the grief.
Actually, 7 is all that I got on that D10.
All right.
So,
Yeah, you manage to snap yourself out of that grief.
is there anything that can be done for Wolf that I can see? Turk would be headed in that direction.
Okay.
Regardless.
All right. Benny, what are you doing during all this?
I'm heading to that's Grandma Abby, right?
You're at the ground. Yeah. You're looking down. You're hearing some hooting and hollering at the bar. You see your grandma off in the next to this giant wolf.
Yeah, I'm heading over to her. Benny's just being loaded with lots of questions today. So he's heading over to her.
Okay.
Because he's kind of pissed at his dad. So he's like, I'm going to Grandma's house. So he's going over to his grandma to try and figure out, like, is she okay? What's happening? Also, big dog.
Big dog. Yeah, I like that. You go start heading over towards Grandma. Cass, what are you doing?
Cass is going to sit down next to Turk and kind of keep connection with him with her knee as she's sitting cross-legged with against his leg or his foot or whatever. And she's going to cast Locate Creature and see if she can find any thread of Wolf.
Oh, okay. So here's how Locate Creature works. You're looking for any creature of the wolf. It is not a, like, I'm looking for Carl. I think Locate Creature is like,
It says name a creature that's familiar to you and you sense that creature's location.
Name a creature.
Wolf.
Okay?
Right.
The alpha is going to light up.
Oh, dang it. Why'd you have to name your dog Wolf?
Even then,
Aaron,
no.
If I've ever heard.
Nate, I don't think, I'm almost positive this is not a specific,
It's
like,
a type of creature, not a.
you're naming a creature. You're naming a.
It says the spell can locate a specific creature known to you or the nearest creature of a specific kind. So I guess the closest wolf would light up.
Okay.
By the specific creature.
Then either way, you do not. Wolfgarin is not here.
Okay. In that case, I would just maintain my.
Kiara
position
is dying.
next to-
Please don't die.
I just cracked my fingertips off of my metal disc.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I thought you had a brainstorm for us. We were hoping.
No. I
So-
did the ouchie.
Wolfgarin disappeared. Is that what I'm understanding?
The body of Wolfgarin was thrown into the fire.
Yes.
Okay. When he was holding it up, it was lifeless in his hands. He threw it in the fire. Texas ran over to the fire, levitated a piece of it out that could not burn away, and you have about a square-sized chunk of surfboard that is singed around the edges.
I been able to find this chunk of surfboard?
Yeah.
I put it on the ground next to the fire.
All right. William. You heading over to Lina.
Yes.
What you got?
So I want to. You said she's already not home, so there's nothing going on there, right? She's just still acting like she's breathing.
She's
in and out
breathing with the wolf.
like she's channeling with this wolf.
Okay.
Okay. So based on the vision I had, I'd already said that there was some sort of relation. There's a direct connection.
Sure. Give me an insight or an arcana check.
I will go Arcana. And that is a 25 total.
There's nothing magically inherent about an arcana check. There's nothing there that allows you. This is about your understanding how magic works. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the way you understand magic to work, this is a little bit outside of your scope. With 25, you realize that there's some sort of connection, yes, between the wolf and this girl. There's a draw. There is
More of a spiritual connection.
There is a weird connection between this girl and the wolf.
Okay. I'm going to use my lifeline and call on Malish.
Okay. Your familiar will manifest out of the little bag where it's eating goldfish crackers, and like poke his head up and be like, "Hey, boss."
Your favorite buddy.
Oh man, I love them. Sometimes I just pack a whole bunch. I like the rainbow ones, even though they don't taste better. But in my mind, they do.
Well, it's whatever you like. Whatever you want, I'll get it.
It's true.
So we got a giant situation, and I'll just kind of like turn his head and body towards the big giant wolf in the background.
Whoa.
And then turn his head back towards the giant firewall.
Whoa.
And then turn his head over to Lina, and then
Whoa.
back towards me. We've got a situation.
That little guy over there is super hairy.
Yeah. So what's going on is beyond my machinations. So there's something else going on here.
True.
Is there any way that you can? Is there any tap anywhere? A way to provide some knowledge?
Did you try talking to the wolf?
Yes.
Did it work?
Kind of.
Well, they can't all be winners, right?
That's what I'm saying.
What's
I'm
up?
Calling on I'm using my lifeline here.
What's up with the girl?
I don't know.
Why is she breathing like the wolf?
She seems to be connected in some way.
Have you tried talking to her?
I did not get a response. It was more like, Lina's not here right now. Call back later.
Hey, Lina, are you here right now? And the wolf will turn her head and look over at Malish and you.
The wolf or
Yeah.
Lina?
Lina will turn over at you, and the head of the wolf will mirror those movements.
Okay.
Seems like she's pretty responsive right now.
Okay. So she'll respond to verbal communications.
Most beings do.
Or just that we. I mean, she just looked at you. We didn't really get a response. Hey, Lina, do you know what's going on right now?
Lina isn't here. The voice will come out of Lina's mouth, and it does not sound like Lina. Does not sound like the voice that you've heard before.
Person communicating, thing communicating through Lina. How can we assist?
Hey,
what do we need to do?
Can we, before you get all into this, is this all you needed me for?
Nope.
I'm probably just gonna go in the bag. Or you want me to stay?
Nope. Ow, please, you're my favorite.
Okay, I'll stay here. Keep going what you're doing. You're doing great.
Well, you're the best.
Hey, it's true. Thanks for the soft pitch.
All right, so again, entity speaking through Lina. What do we need to do? Are we hindering you, or is there a way for us to help?
There is nothing you can do. The age of man is upon us. The spirits of the wilderness roam no more. You have done enough.
What do we do about the outsiders, the ones outside the fire right now?
How are they any different from the rest of them? All of them wish to use my power for themselves.
So you're going to remove your power from this plane?
I stay as long as I am fed.
And that source is?
Currently, it is the one known as Kiara and the woman of the forest.
So you're feeding off of them now?
I am not feeding off of them. They are feeding me.
I was not trying to offend, just clarifying.
There is a soft growl that comes out of the wolf and comes out of Lina. It is just a soft little grumble rumble.
Okay, I'm going in. Ear scritch, doing it right now.
You're gonna give me an animal handling check for Lina, please.
We do not touch things.
We touch the... Hey, you have no say whatsoever.
Animal-
Touching a giant wolf.
Animal handling check, William. Please roll
I
high.
asked.
That is a 16.
The wolf does not want to like it. Lina does not want to like it, but you hit the sweet spot. And you keep all of your fingers. All of your fingers are kept. And you bring your hand back. And you seem to have calmed the beast.
How long are you going to require their presence?
I was kept until I was set free. I know not of time. I know not of waiting. I am.
What's the culmination going to be? What's the end game?
The end game.
What finishes this?
The destruction of the era of man.
Is that your goal?
No, it is my purpose. Goals are for men. Goals can be hit or not hit. Purposes are destiny. You cannot lose your purpose.
If this is your destiny, to end the era of man, by what means do you plan to do it?
Roll me probability dice. Okay. Kiara, you suddenly pinpoint focus to what appears to be a little girl. The family runs away from you, and you are left behind, outstretching a hand. And as you turn and look, you see what looks to be a cannonball sailing through the air, okay, towards you. It is a hyper realistic image of what is happening. And as this cannonball sails towards you, suddenly there is a wolf that is next to you, putting his head on your shoulder, and you are closing your eyes, and you are taking that cannonball and throwing it up into the air away from you. You are finding some sort of inner strength and throwing this cannonball away from you up. On the outskirts of town, where everyone can see the fire breaks. And the fire breaks. The wall of fire ends as Kiara, eyes now completely blue and sparkly, like that of the wolf, extends a hand and casts the 9th level spell, Meteor Swarm. As Kiara, the druid, brings forth blazing orbs of fire that plummet into the ground in a 40-foot radius sphere, doing 20d6 for every meteor that strikes the earth. And as every meteor strikes the earth away from this civilization, the entire town shakes. And you realize that if the town were here, if Kiara had pointed closer, there would be nothing left standing. Lina will turn to you as Rockbender Kiara goes back to looking forward, and Lina looks towards you and whispers, "That is how I do it. By circling back every bit of pain you have dealt, I return to you nothing but what you have put out into the world yourself. Every tree fallen, every civilization crushed, every home torn asunder, all of it, every ounce of pain, every one of my brothers and sisters burned in the flames of man, that is how I do it. I am not the destroyer. I am the one who comes before. Now, feed me. That's Williams. Kiara is focused intently as the little hairy guy finishes tracing in the sand. Kiara, your connection to the wolf snaps as the spell goes off. And the little hairy guy sits down at one end of the circle and just starts smoking a pipe. And he says, I bought us a little bit of time. You may want to check on your friends and talk with them. I'll take over from here. Me and the girl. And you'll see a little, you'll see what looks to be a little, elven girl who's covered in leaves and flora and fauna, and she just sort of waves at you. She's like, and he says, go. We'll have it.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
I will nod. I know the wolf is not paying attention to me, but I will nod to the wolf and
Okay.
head towards town.
You take a level of exhaustion. Okay. But all your spell slots are back.
Just spell slots, correct?
Hmm? Are you the key master? We appreciate Ghostbusters things here.
There I am. I had to add my exhaustion.
Okay. All right. Everybody, I believe, is on ground level and close-ish to the same space. Dad is here. Benny, your father is here and leaning up against a wall. Okay? The two other individuals that he came with are maintaining and feeding this wolf. Lina is on all fours. This is a moment for you all to reconnect for a second. You are all drawn, as most adventurers are sometimes drawn. You are drawn in by grief. As Texas is trying to console Turk, and Turk is looking at a burnt piece of board. Okay? Anonymous cheer, thank you for the 500 bits. That's amazing. Thank you so, so much. Oh, what a generous offering. We love you so much. Hard hands. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, Turk is out of it. He's looking at this board and he's kind of looking up at Texas pleading with her with his eyes to do anything, to do something.
What do you need, Turk? He's already picked him up, right? You've already picked up the surfboard?
I'm holding the board.
Okay.
He's got a piece this big.
It's just a piece of a surfboard. Oh, crud.
I'm gonna actually take it, and I'm not quite sure how my armor works or stuff, but I'm gonna take this piece and stuff it into my armor
Okay.
next to the cart. And then I'm gonna stand up and take out my 6-shooter and make a show of reloading it and making sure that it's full, and turn to Texas as I'm going hunting.
I know. But we need to wait till we're all ready to go together. No more splitting up all over the place. That's how this happened. We gotta stick together, right?
It's as long as we're going hunting.
Right. So we need to talk to everyone. And I'm going to look up at Kiara, because at this point I have no idea what was going on. There was just wild magic-y things, but I went straight to Turk.
Yep.
And so I look over at Kiara and I say, I don't know what's going on. We're going to need more information. And then we got a job to do. And I look at Turk.
Kiara?
What happened?
Turk has what appears to be left of Wolf. But I don't know what else happened over here. You know more than me.
That, and she's going to gesture vaguely to the really large wolf. That's a long story. Animal spirits. That's where I'm going to leave that. What do you mean, what's left of Wolf?
I don't believe Wolf is with us. More than what's left of him there. I do know that Turk is ready to go hunting. But we all need to be on the same page before that happens. And if y'all have more information than me, we need to share that information right now.
Cass, you hear a little voice in your head. Hey, kiddo. I'm thinking you catch more flies with honey here.
I don't have any honey, Cheshire.
Oh, baby, you got me. You got all the honey you need. He doesn't know it yet, but there's still a tiny bit of residual magic on that surfboard. But it is leaking fast. You want some help?
I would love some help. I tried to find him already, though, and he's gone. I couldn't even sense him.
Yeah, the wolf you knew is gone, but there's still a little bit left. But I'm gonna need a firm commitment here.
Oh.
And hey, bygones be bygones, but I'm really starting to enjoy you in this place. So I want to stick around for a little bit, and I'm worried that you're just going to dump me for the pretty girl that can sing. We can do great things here, you and I. But it's a two-way street, my dear. And if you won't do it for you, do it for tall, behatted, and handsome.
If I say yes. Do I have to be as manipulative as you just were?
Persuasion check, Cass.
That's a natural 1. +5, but it's still a natural 1.
The energy shifts to a darker red energy. I have no other way to describe it as that. He goes, I have done nothing but offer my services to bend the rules of fate and life in your favor. So tell you what, sweetie, no, I'm going to retract the offer. In fact, I'm going to retract all offers. You want to play hardball with me? I understand. But I need someone who's going to form a relationship with me and not just want daddy's credit card to cast inflict wounds and spells when they need it. I need someone who is going to worship me and establish a relationship with me. I am not a checking account for you to draw money from until it runs out. Perhaps I was a little harsh. You're not used to having a deity in your life, Cass. You're used to having the idea of a deity. A relationship on paper is much easier than a relationship in real life. So let's start with a friendship and work our way in. Agreed?
You're nothing like any friend I've ever had, Chesh.
I take that at the highest amount of praise. Yes or no, Cass? Don't answer that. Wolf, there is an intense heat from under your shirt. All of you are gathered around this area, and Wolf, right underneath your armor is a glow that is real intense, buddy. Your armor is starting to heat up a little bit. You're gonna start taking damage unless you pull it out.
I'm pulling it out.
Okay, you've got this hand-sized little chunk, right? And it is glowing up a storm, and it's actually kicking up sparks of energy. Okay? It's like throwing off like a little like arcane burst here and there, almost little burst of wild magic.
Turk's going to be looking around. What?
Okay, you still holding it, or are you putting it down on the ground?
Is it burning my hand?
It's real hot. It's burning your hand.
He'll instinctively end up dropping it.
I'm gonna try to help him catch it.
Okay.
Because I mean, this is what's left of Wolf, and
Yeah.
something is happening.
Yeah.
But if this is energy coming into us, I'm gonna grab with my other two hands to try to contain this energy, whatever's going on.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a bad thing or not, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
So if he drops it, I'll catch and then bring it back up towards him.
Everybody gets a mental projection into their head of a door, and you hear a knocking from the other side. William, do you open the door?
Yes.
Kiara, do you open the door? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Cass, do you open the door?
Does it interrupt Chesh in the middle of his sentence?
Chesh is
Or
gone.
cut
Chesh
off?
ain't
Okay,
there.
cut off. Okay. Then yes.
Benny, do you open the door?
It would be impolite to not let in a house guest, yes.
Turk, do you open the door?
I think it may, in his shock and everything going on, he would instinctively open the door.
Everybody give me a spell of the highest level that you have and let me know what spell you're burning.
is it a spell slot that we're burning, or do you
Spell
want the
slot you're burning? I need to know the spell.
Fast friends at 3rd level.
Fast Friends, 3rd level. Kiara.
My highest level spell slot, that would be a 5th level slot. Flaming Sphere.
Good. William, first one that comes to mind. Highest level.
Fire dance.
Fire Dance. Texas.
5th level.
4th level polymorph.
4th level Polymorph. Benny.
3rd level Beacon of Hope.
Turk.
3rd level lightning arrow.
Okay. As those spells flow through the door is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. As those spells all leave you, go ahead and mark those spell levels off, and that little piece of surfboard is going to glow and glow and glow and glow until there's a little pop. And before you is the cutest, tiniest little kitten you have ever seen in your entire life. Wearing a black collar, and Turk actually posted a picture of what this kitten looks like in the Discord.
Oh my god.
And attached by a little name tag is the name Lil Chess. Little Chesh. But it's LIL' Chesh. And this little cat looks up at you, and you feel your telekinetic bond with the cat come off, and you just hear, hungry, 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 sleep, hungry, hungry, sleep, milk.
Turk's gonna bend down and pick up the cat.
Okay.
And just look at it.
The cat starts kneading at your face, like pushing its little hands, and it goes, Dad, Dad, Dad.
Help.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Welcome to the Wild Magic Cat. Little Chesh, once a day, can be activated, and one of those spells is going to go off.
Oh gosh. We're gonna need to get a list of those spells.
We're going to clip that. One of those spells is going to go off. You can activate it once a day, or I might activate it, because cats are unpredictable. You guys are going to be able to take a long rest before the next night happens. During that long rest, I'm going to assume that all of you are sharing the information that happened while your characters weren't there. Okay? We'll get a group text going, and we'll share what information is shared between the group. Okay? If you wish to withhold any of it. Cass, the last thing you hear, our post-credits scene is, no more offers on my end. A relationship doesn't work when one person loves the other one too much. So no more offers until you come to me. Your conduit to Cheshire is cut. You still have access to magic, but that voice is no longer in your head. The presence is there, but no more offers will be given outside of the norm. Okay?
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Chubby Cobalt Gaming. You all are the best. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And Cab Cigars, you guys have to stop being so funny, though, please. I'm trying to tell these like serious moments, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all the jokes. This is the funniest the chat has been. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Indigo Connect. We're actually going to go raid a channel real quick.
I got so involved.
We got so involved with the scene. We're going to go raid really quick. Another channel. But thank you all so much. We love you all. Indigo Connect. And hey, thank you for getting lost. We'll see you next Thursday for part 4 of Bad Moon Rising Arc. We'll see you soon.